oats, and we'll take that down to the flour mill and start making flour, because that's a good thing. Oh, struggle, struggle. Yay. And we're up to 10 o'clock. I think I'm going to run into the kitchen, get another drink, and then we'll truck the grain down to the grain mill. Oops, a little bit more. And tip. Not tip. Okay. Ah. Tip. There we go. Okay, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, let's get back to business. I seem to have no tractors doing anything. Okay. Okay, so you're stuck in a hedge, because why not? Back up. Oh, that sounds like a Mrs. Osa alarm. So we'll turn that on. Why are you spreading? You're not. I will run up this side of this field. Okay. Line that up there. And off you go, Mr. Worker. Okay. You're good. Why are you in the middle of the street? Good grief. That's an even bigger failure than the other guy. Yeah, let's squeeze through that gap. And yes, we made it. Okay, yeah, I think... Okay, the worker is going to have a few problems in this field. And the reason is because we are... This bit up the top here is added field, and I'm not sure the worker particularly likes that too much. Anyway. Oh, come on, Mr. Tractor. Let's go. Yeah, for some reason, it reversed all the way up the field and then drove out into the street. Anyway, let's get that lined up. Set it back on a worker. We should probably consider investigating courseplay at some point. But right now, it's time to take this lot. That's actually a full capacity load rather than weight load. Now what I can do here is drop off some oats, starts the oats production, then drop off the barley and start the barley production, and then bring more oats a little bit later. What other things do... No, okay, I need to do all of the transporting right now, because the next thing we need to do is spread some slurry or manure. I might spread the manure because we've got a lot of that. There's this field here. Which is currently being limed. Okay, so once the lime's complete, we will need to get the sprayer on the back of the Deutz and get that spraying the grass field. Step one. Because I want the grass field ready when we before next month and it starts growing. I don't want to be putting stuff on grass that has any leaf on it. What else do we have to do? Then it's just basic field prep on the other 3 fields. We're going to need to spread manure. We're going to need to spread no, manure's good. Well, manure or slurry. I might put slurry on the big field up on the arable farm, and manure on the 2 fields that are closest to our cow yard, just because they're closest. Now the other thing I can do is not produce soybeans, but instead produce sorghum, which is another spring plant crop, but it's a spring plant crop I can produce flour with. And that might be a fun thing to do, because it'll give us more flour later in the year. At the moment we're dumping all this in here now, and well, sorghum's going to be, I don't know. Again. There you go. Drop the oats. And now we can jump out here and get this turned on. So, oats, activate. So oats, a little bit of oats produces more flour. Barley, a lot of flour produces less oats. 5 to 4, and then sorghum is. So oats get, see the fake feeling here. Oats gets you more flour. No, you get less oats. You probably end up with the same amount of flour whether you produce a field of oats or a field of barley. Jump in there and wait for the clunk of the thing to lower. There we go. So if Mrs. Osa's alarm went off now, she's not planning to get out of bed till 10:30. She likes to lie in after the alarm goes off, so that, and we are good to head back to the yard. So as I say, this is, you know, having the grains in the arable yard, this is a longer trip. But normally we'll keep the grain cart in that yard. So loading it up and dropping the cart off, everything's in the right place. Oops. And 10 o'clock in the morning, yay. Game time, it is now 1:30 almost. So I usually wait till about 2 o'clock before I check the store sales. They seem to update after lunch. 2 o'clock seems to be a good time to see if things are going to move or not. Now, either something will have sold or both of those things will have sold. Or there'll be some new stuff, or nothing will happen. Typically the biggest store sale change seems to happen around midnight, although some things may roll over an extra day if they're at the end of the list. I think both of the things that were on sale today were there yesterday, and no new stuff. Don't think any new stuff got added. Okay, how's the lime truck doing? Don't see him. He seems to have disappeared again. Yeah, well. Massey Ferguson's still working, so that's a good sign. And if we look to our right, or glance to our right, that field's definitely looking good. So I think what we'll do, I'm just going to put the oats in now, and then we'll go deal with the barley after that. So this tractor's down to 75%. I probably want to think about getting this tractor serviced fairly soon. Oops. No. Probably should have stayed in the cab for that. It's not the most ideal point for this. Okay. I'm going to check the lime spreader because he's just there. Engine on, lime on. Go. And as soon as we pull forward enough, I should just be able to stick that on a worker and off he goes again. So that's why we didn't see the tractor, because he was tucked up in the corner there as we drove by. There will be the end of this field we'll have to tidy up once the worker's done. You might have an issue here. You are doing a beautiful job. We'll have to run across the bottom headland. We'll probably have to run across the top headland when he's done. Meanwhile, you're full. I am going to... Yep, that's all of the oats. I probably could have checked it by saying how full is it. It's 99%, so yeah. That's 100% of the oats harvested this year are now on their way out of the yard. Okay, money's down to 112. Too many workers. That's part of the problem here. We are We are definitely working the workers. Why did you stop? Oh, because there's a tractor in the field. Okay, both our workers are still working. We have 43% left on the lime. But the pH in this field will be perfect, so next year's yield will be perfect again. Well, except for the field that we forgot to spray. I just can't believe I forgot to spray a field. Or maybe something got messed up. And again, looks like that work is done. So the rest of that field, we're going to have to manually lime. I could take a load of manure down to the BGA. It'll give us about £700, but it will get rid of 30,000 to 50,000 litres of the stuff. So our cows are very productive in the manure department. I'm still not seeing any milk, but again, that could be the cows need to be 27 months before they produce milk, which would be a little bit of an annoyance. Come on, climb. I don't know, I think it was Disturbed is it Disturbed Studios, Disturbed Simulations, whatever he is. He does use the auto drive, so he sets up all of the routes so that you can actually do these drives with a worker. The problem is the way things are set by Cavalier Roy is workers tend to prefer to use the country lanes or the farm tracks, and the result is a lot of the time they can't find their way to where you want them to go. Or they get wrapped around a tree on the way. Also not a great thing. So let's turn that a little bit more, and that should tip, yes. Okay, let's go find, he's still working, he is done. So what I'm going to do here is take this on a little journey. We did the top end of this field, but this bit here, not done. So, oh, wrong button, right button, okay. So, I will throw lime on the road just to annoy the locals. I'm guessing the top end of that field is close to good enough done. So I'm not going to worry too much if I didn't quite get it all the way into the corner. And I'm just going to follow the edge round here because it's easier to see the big gap you missed in the middle of the field than it is to see the bit on the edge that is covered in shadows. And but you can't tell. Okay, that's good. And yeah, we've still got 5,000 litres here. We've got more than sufficient. As soon as that bit's done, it's going to die off. We can do that strip there, and the field is mulched, limed, and ready to be initial fertilization, which is basically throw some slurry or manure on it. I think in this case we'll put the manure on this one. Okay, you are done. Fold that up. We still have 5,000 litres of lime left, and as I said, I think that is more than enough to do the field across the road here. I haven't checked the other thing. I still need to get some water. Oh, yeah, no problem. Just going to park this in the middle because obviously we need to do the top headland and the bottom headland before we let loose with the lime. Okay, you've got water, don't need you running, you're done. Let's get you back to the yard again. So we'll grab the barley. As I said, we could go upgrade the bakery. I'm pretty sure I've got enough money to upgrade the bakery. I think the bakery's cheap, 70,000 pound production. But now that we've got flour in production, I'm fairly certain we can keep up with the demand of the bakery this year. Might need to top up the flour with some contract work, which we did last year. We harvested, I think, all the things: sorghum, wheat, barley, just all the stuff. We threw any excess from a contract straight into the flour mill to get it producing flour. Ooh. But 60,000 litres of oats, and you get more flour out of oats than anything else. That's actually, we could do math. Maybe. So Massey Ferguson's still working, that's good. So yeah, I'll go check on how much flour do you get from oats when you put 60,000 litres of oats in a flour mill. So I think it was 15 to 19, and obviously 15 is into 60 4 times. So 19 times 4 is 76,000 litres of flour, possibly, which means I only need to find another 24. We got 30,000 litres, no, we got 20,000 litres of barley, and that's not going to produce. Hang on, 76, 24,000, yeah. I don't think we're going to get 24,000 litres of flour out of the barley. Anyway, let's try not to hit the dryer this time. And oats are done. We have barley. Start loading the barley. So, if we go down, we're in productions. So 15 to 19. So there's, multiply that by 4, multiply that by 4. 40, 4 nines. 36, so about 76,000. We'll get about 76,000 litres of flour just from our sorghum. From the barley, 20,000, so that's 2/3 of that. 2/3 of that is 6 4s, no, 3 8s are 20, 2 8s are 16, so there's another 16 there. I would need another 10,000 litres of something to produce, or 10,000 litres of flour. Now, if we go and look at the bakery, okay, grain mill's level 1, bakery's level 1, dairy's level 2, open garden is level 3, so lots of tomatoes being produced there. The bread, you get 48 cycles, 60 pounds a month, produces 90 flour. Yeah, basically half the flour turns into bread. Or no, all of the flour turns into half the amount of bread. If I upgrade this, we've got the money. It's gonna, so the basic bakery is 50,000. 10% more, 55,000 to do this. And we got 48 for 60. We get 103 cycles at 114. So it costs more to run, but 248 to 96, we're getting another 96 plus 7. It's not quite 10% production increase. So now we're going to produce twice as many things. So this is going to drain twice as fast. And 6,000, 90 times 100 is 99,000. We're going to use 9,000 of that before August. However, if we go back to the wheat, the grain thing, we're at 673 litres of flour already. So we will soon have another crate of flour. By tomorrow, we'll probably have 5 or 6 crates of flour ready to ship down to the bakery. So that's a good thing. What's still running? Okay, looks like the mulch is finished. Gonna have to get out there and tidy up the edges, and then we can set the lime tractor off. With the mulching all done on all of the fields so far, I can put the mulcher away and the Massey Ferguson. Still got 57,000. See, I've got enough money to upgrade the bakery again. Actually, I don't, because I think it's going to cost 60,000 to upgrade to level 3. But I would then have to find another 50,000 litres of flour product, which not going to happen this year. Anyway, or buy some fields. Buying fields is good. And we're going to, obviously we're going to get good turnover. We're getting a fairly good turnover in tomatoes. I think I probably make about 6,000 there. I think we make about 12,000 from butter, which got a lot of crates of butter there. And we'll now double the amount of